Today is April 23rd. Steve is late, which is normal. Steve, where you been?
Oh, putting down a 4-year-old for a nap.
Oh, where you home by yourself?
We got some company over, so Marissa's hanging out with her friend. So
Oh, I
daddy
see.
duty today,
Oh,
but
I
it's all
see.
good.
I don't
Oh,
have any
check your legs.
friends, so I don't get that. Yeah,
Check this out.
I don't want anyone in my house either. But
Got my first championship ring.
you guys got a ring for that? That's awesome.
Yeah, for not softball, for neighborhood golf.
Oh,
Neighborhood golf tournament, right? It was electric. A lot of these guys have like putting greens and stuff in their backyard, so they bid 6 holes, 3 different houses. One house had a long drive and closest to the pin on a simulator, and it was like Ryder Cup style. We played it on Masters weekend, and we all got
that's
these things
awesome.
heavy, by the way. Like it's a legit ring. It's awesome. So it was fun.
You won?
Chipping, by the way, chipping.
Wow.
Yeah,
All that practice, I taught you how to chip that one day.
that's right.
That's awesome. How many guys played?
It was 2 teams, so we were on the green team, so it was 8 versus 8, so 16 guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
That
sick.
neighborhood is a great neighborhood.
It is. It's good.
I feel like I live in a half-retired neighborhood where people just are too that no one's home. I mean, I feel like everyone's retired, but no one's ever home, or they're
Maybe
too
they just don't like
bougie.
you.
Probably not. I had to stay off that group chat.
So what's going on?
Looking at bullpen rankings. Have you, if, off the top of your head, who do you think has the worst bullpen in baseball?
The worst bullpen in baseball. Oh boy. Like
By
for
ERA.
worst bullpen. I'm gonna go Oakland.
No,
Other than the White
Washington. But
Sox?
guess who's right below them?
Who?
The Phillies.
Oh wow.
They only have like 3 quality relievers, and Kirkering is not even. He's having that. You know how I always said like year 3 is the hardest. You can have like you come in, you have a good year. Next year, you're dominant. It's always hard to have like 3 consecutive great years. And that kid's on his year 3, and he's struggling.
I mean, it's still early too, right? I mean,
Oh, it's
what are
definitely
they?
early.
Yeah, it's like 24 games into the season. I mean, I don't know if you remember our
Yeah,
first 24 games with the Cubs in 2019. What's that?
True. But Philly will boo you in a heartbeat, and sometimes it's hard to get out of it. So
That's
Phillies
true.
will boo you,
Yeah.
and it's hard to
Yeah.
get out of it.
Yeah. Who
After them, it's the Angels and then the Cubs.
Wow. The Cubs.
How good could the Cubs be if they had a better bullpen?
That should have been my guess. Is the Cubs? I looked at the. I panicked and took a wild guess. No, yeah, for sure. We talked about that last episode or the first episode with teams not spending money in their weakest areas. Like, there's guys out there, you know. I don't know. It's crazy to me. Like, you just got to spend a few million more to get like 2 solid arms.
Yeah, the Cubs are giving up the most hits.
Yeah. How about that game last night, though?
And they're a good team. Yeah, they could hit. They had 17 hits.
Electric atmosphere. It's like my 8U game yesterday. The atmosphere just unmatched.
Tell us about that.
Oh, the Pink Panthers, Hot Pink Panthers, won round 2 yesterday against a really good team, and it was wild, dude. The parents were going insane. Like the atmosphere was awesome. I mean, our girls were it was loud barrel after loud barrel, kind of like my big league career, which is great in this arena. And it was, oh man, they had a blast. And I had a mom giving me some grief over there. She was wearing me out pretty good, and I just had to ignore it after a bit.
Why was she wearing you out?
I was explaining the rules to them because it's 8U, right? So you get 1 base on an overthrow, and they just kept sending the girl around and she scored. I was like, whoa, like, hey, you only get 1 base, no big deal. And the coach was like, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, 1 base. Umpires had no idea what they were doing, which is fine. I appreciate them, but And the parents went nuts, and they were just wearing me out about that. They're like, "What is this? Like, she scored a run." I'm like, "No, look, it's just one base after overthrow." He's like, "Yeah, but the first baseman, which was my daughter, threw it into the outfield." I'm like, "After the ball got past her, it was an overthrow to first base." And then the next play, they hit it to Avery again, and she missed it. He goes, "That's what she gets." And I was like,
Oh my
"Wow."
gosh.
I was like, "Wow." We're yelling at an 8-year-old, like
Little 8-year-old
so,
girl.
yeah. So it was my own daughter. So you think I'd be more upset, but I was like, if it was another girl, I think I would have been a little bit more frazzled.
Yeah,
But
when
I'm
it's
like,
your own kid, you're like, they'll figure it out. But when
yeah.
you're trying to stick up
Which
for the
it's
other
not,
kid.
and it's not like our Avery hurt her or anything. But the to their credit, the other coach was like, "Are my parents wearing you out over there?" I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit." It's like, "No, we're not doing that." And she like walked over and told them to chill. So it was good, man. It was fun. Yeah.
It's kind of like last week we were playing against this coach that was just so intense. First of all, do the meeting at the umpire, and he's going over the rules. And this guy like wants to control the whole meeting. We got to teach these are the rules. This is what I want. I'm like, bro, I really don't care. He's like, well, I want overthrows. We can go, and we only do one base on a steal. But other than that, it's free for all. Everyone can run. I'm like, okay. And then the teenage kid, Sonny, the umpire, who I absolutely hate. And then he's like 14. He's the worst umpire ever. But this guy, first pitch of the game, this guy is literally 15 feet from the infield. The coach, he's standing so far out of the dugout. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be one of those guys. Like, this guy's intense. And so every pitch, really cheering his team or yelling at the umpire, hands in the air, palms all the time. There was one play, Knox was playing first, tags the guy, ball comes out. Obviously, he's going to be safe. Umpire calls him out. This guy loses runs all the way down to the line, gets in the umpire's face, yelling.
What?
A guy overturns the call. Of course, I could have argued that you can't really overturn that call, but I don't. And then there was another play at the plate. The kid was probably safe, but they call him out. He loses his mind, runs down to the umpire again, getting in his face. Meanwhile, at the same time, other kids are running. I'm like, what? You're letting him distract you. Now we got other kids running. Like, oh, we got to go back. It was insane. I had to show up. Sonny was killing me, though. We had the catcher was diving for balls, and he was calling a strike. And I'm like, so finally, I'm warming up the catcher in the 4th inning. And I'm like, and this is like the 5th time we've had Sonny. And Sonny is just, he kills me. He's so bad. So Sonny, I'm not trying to show up. I'm just warming the catcher up. I'm like, hey, man. I said, you can't call strikes if the catcher is literally diving for the ball. He goes, well, it's curving. I'm like, Sonny, they are not throwing curveballs. I promise you that. It's like, they're not throwing curveballs. He goes, well, that's just what you see. I'm like, Sonny, I'm going to tell you something. I was like, I played 10 years in the big leagues, and I promise you, these are not strikes. I was like, the first catcher was left-handed, and he's diving across the plate. I was like, that's definitely not a strike. You can't call that a strike. It's like, you're killing these kids. They have no idea what a strike is. Goes, well, that's just what I see. I'm like, this kid's killing every day. Every time I see this kid, I just ruins my night. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
Hopefully we don't have Sonny tonight. If we have Sonny tonight, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go sit in the truck.
So what you're saying is umpires from 8U baseball up to the big leagues is suspect.
100%, all the same.
Ours are pretty good in the softball. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like they do a decent job. I was giving one umpire because I know him a little bit now. Just giving him
kid will call balls down the middle, perfect pitches.
he's like Steve. I hear
my problem with Sonny is if you throw a good pitch. Hold on. My problem with Sonny is if you throw a good pitch, it should be a strike, and he balls it. So now it kills like these young kids that are just learning how to pitch. They don't know what a strike is. It just kills the confidence, and then they're really starting to aim it. Like that's what kills me. And you can see it just snowballs to all these little. You can see it on their body language.
Oh yeah, totally. We had a similar situation with our 10U. This girl we faced is really good, but we hit her around a little bit the first couple of times. So she learned an ephus changeup.
Oh,
and
sick.
Dude, she went strike 1, strike 2, floated a changeup in there, and no one's ever seen that. She struck out all 6 girls she faced. And
awesome.
And I was like kind of chirping the umpire under my breath, but jokingly. And he's like, Steve, I hear you over there. And he's like a young kid. He's like, I was like, yeah. He's like, I got those being strikes. I was like, yeah, they probably are. I'm just messing with you, and especially that coach over there, which is Tom Kohler. I was like, I'm just screwing around, man. Don't take it personally.
Oh,
So it was great. I mean, the girl
that's
she's
awesome.
such a good pitcher. It was cool. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk
Is it
baseball.
his daughter?
No, she's good too, though. She pitched the last inning. She did great. Yep.
So the Mets might be better than we thought, Steve.
Better than we thought. Hold on a second.
I didn't think they had the pitching to get through it.
I have them winning the division.
I'm talking about the beginning of the year. Like when they move Holmes as a starter, they give him a ton of money as a starter.
Yeah.
I really didn't think that was going to. I mean, obviously, beginning of the year, we'll see how it goes if he, fades away. But he's a big guy. But man, they're 17-7. They've won 6 in a row. Phillies are now 4 back from them.
Yeah, I mean, did you keep cutting out? Did you say Holmes? Tell me you said Holmes.
Yeah.
Cut out again. That's all right. I'm assuming you said Holmes. Yeah, I think this is such a good role for him because you could tell last year though that last inning was getting in his dome a little bit. His stuff is way too good for that to be happening where he's losing hitters with 0-2 counts, especially. Now it's like pressure free. You're starting the game. You have give us 5 strong, and whatever happens after that happens. Like it just takes a lot of pressure off someone like him. I think he's doing great.
Let me check my mic. What mic am I using?
No, it just your hamster wheel of internet keeps cutting out, and so
no, I upgraded my internet when football season started to fiber optic, and it's supposed to be much better. So
it just keeps cutting out a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but
maybe it's a tough day. Maybe it's your internet.
Could be.
I don't know. My wife did say it was slow this morning, but my phone was working just fine. Anyway, yeah. Clay Holmes added the kick change, which is really just the 2-seam changeup. I don't know why everyone's like kick change, but it's kind of saved him a lot for lefties because he had nothing for lefties before.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. Who started that whole kick change? Was that kid from the Mariners? I remember them talking about it with him.
I don't even know. I saw it on the thread or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like they almost like spiked their middle finger a little bit. I don't know.
No, I think that's what it is. It moves like a heavy 2-seamer, but they manipulate the grip somehow. I think it's Munoz is the first person I've seen throw that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it is nasty.
That guy is dominating.
Isn't that interesting, though, the trends? Like, all right, this guy learned a kick change. It's nasty. Like, how else can we do it? Well, with technology today, if you have a similar arm slot or arsenal, you're able to throw the same pitches. Like the sweeper, when that took over, everyone started throwing sweepers that had the right arm slot for it. Or they learned how to manipulate the ball to make it sweep more, which caused all sorts of elbow injuries. I wonder if this is going to hurt guys' elbows or not. That might be an Eric Cressy question.
Yeah, I don't know. Taking your middle finger kind of off the ball is a little hard, I would imagine.
Yeah, but I think it's less lethal than a sweeper. A sweeper put a lot of stress on the elbow, especially because look, these guys are learning it like now, and then they're like, oh, it's good in a bullpen session. I'm going to use it in the game, and then they rip it, and then all of a sudden they're not used to their elbow's not used to that type of stress. You haven't moved your arm in that sort of way with that much force and impact behind the ball, and so it just shredded guys' elbows. I feel like now you're introducing another new pitch. I don't know. It scares me a little bit, but I just don't think it's going to be as like lethal as throwing a super big slider, super big slider is all it is.
Probably not. I think the kick change, well, it's for pronators. If you pronate really well, I think it's going to be a great pitch for you. If you're someone that does pronate very well, you might struggle. You probably might have some tear your pronator, something like that.
Right.
One thing I do regret towards the end is I never went to those places that like teach you how to refine your mechanics or teach you better pitches. Like maybe if I could have learned a better slider or something, I just regret not doing that. I guess because you see that it saved a lot of guys. It gave them like an extra couple years.
Yeah, they adapted to it, right?
Yeah.
But we're also on that when we retired, especially you, like a year before. It was like the beginning of all this stuff. Like when I was with the Angels in 2021, they had a biometrics guy or something like that. Or not biometrics. I don't know. They had basically a scientist. Dude never even played baseball, but he's showing you how the rotation of the ball will make the ball move this way. And that's when the big craze was the 2-seam slider. just
Yeah.
based on how it cuts through the air and all this stuff. And they had this, nerd, let's say, show the front office how to do it. And it was pretty cool. It was really cool information. They sat me down and showed me how it works, and I tried it. I couldn't figure it out. I was also 3/4 of the way through the season, so it was a little bit late. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see. And now every team's got that resource,
I know. I wish I would have had that one time. Maybe because maybe they were scared of me and I would have told them to F off anyways, which I probably would have.
You would have.
When you're struggling enough, I think you become open to anything. I don't know. I wish I would have tried it. But like Boxberger, when he came to Miami 2020, he was kind of like almost out of the game. And then he went to the drive line, he said.
Mm-hmm.
And that bought him a couple of extra years after that.
Right. Yep, no doubt. Boxberger, yeah. Boxberger was a sneaky good career, by the way. Good guy.
He couldn't stay healthy, man. He always had like the most random injuries, like his obliques and stuff.
That's true.
Good dude. Great catch partner.
So you said the Angels bullpen, not good.
Angels bullpen, they are a 5.46 ERA. Washington's terrible by a mile, 7.09.
Yeah, no, I know. I kind of follow them. I've seen kind of the same people giving it up quite a bit.
And then you go look at number one by a mile. Who do you think number one by a mile is?
The Cubs.
Number one, I said.
Oh, I thought you meant number one worst.
No.
Oh,
number one worst? Is that even a word?
like the worst. I'm looking at. I'd say the Dodgers.
No. They're not even top 5.
Really?
Barely. I don't think they're even top. Nope, they're not even top 10.
Interesting. Number one. Go ahead, hit me.
Okay. 4.3 ERA as a bullpen.
Wait, say that again. You cut out 4.3 ERA. Who?
1.43 ERA.
Oh, 1.43. That makes way more sense. I'm like, a 4.3 is the top bullpen?
No. After that's the Mets, 2.47, and then
that was my next guess.
The Giants have a 2. Houston has a 2. Detroit has a 2. I mean, that's why they're still there. That's why they're all good.
It's crazy when you value a bullpen.
Oh, it's amazing. Look at the Padres. They built that team on, like, they went and got all those guys. They tried to shorten the crap out of that game.
Yeah, no doubt.
And hardly ever they go 2+, or 1+. Hardly, more likely, like they did Sunday night, but more than likely they just run it out 1 by 1, 1-1. Everyone has a role.
That's nice. It's nice to see. Well, it helps too when you have guys like
6, 7, 8, 9. So much fun.
Well, it's easier when you have guys going deep into games. Like, what was it? Pavetta the other night went 7 innings, and then they rolled out 2 guys right after him. Like, bam, bam. Oh, here's easy 7 and 8, 9. That's like classic Braves baseball. Yeah. Like, remember the 2010 Braves, 2011 Braves, where it was the starting pitcher would go 6 innings. Then you get Eric O'Flaherty coming in, nasty. Venners coming in. And then Kimbrel. It was clockwork.
Somehow Kimbrel's the only one that really survived all that work.
Yeah, that's true. Those other 2 were, oh man, they were shredded.
Yeah, they were.
By the way,
probably because they had to do if the game's still even close, bring him in, where Craig's only doing if we're winning. But those 7, 8, 9, 7, 8 guys, 6, 7, 8, if you're down 1, game's tied, we got to keep them close, bring them in. They were probably got days off.
Yeah, but like, what are you to do in his situation? Like, if you don't have guys you trust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to have depth.
Exactly. So it's like, I need a fireman. This is the only thing that's going to keep us in the game here. And then you got to roll the dice with whoever that you're kind of sketched out about. It's like, that's so hard as a manager. Yeah,
it is. You just like, well, let's just use Steve again for the 5th time in a row. You don't need to. We'll get him a day off tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes. Oh man, we're up 1 in the 8th with all these righties coming up. Steve, we'll get Steve one tomorrow.
I don't know if I might have told you this story. I I'll send you the picture. It's great. So when I was with the Angels, Joe was, of course, the manager, and he liked to use me quite a bit. And I got to quite the workload, and we're in Baltimore. I threw like 1+, maybe 2 innings. The next day, I show up, and Bussy has a beach resort in front of my locker, a tarp with a pool, sand around the pool, like a blow up palm tree, and a beach chair.
No way.
I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That is awesome.
enjoy your spa day. I'm like, that's sick. So I have to
Bussy's
send
the
picture
best.
out. He's
a terrible strength coach, but he's great for every team.
I love that guy. Anyways, I'll send you the picture. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram too.
Yeah, and you guys always got mad at me when I took my days. Like, if you don't take your days, like you just say I'm not pitching today, like you're never gonna get a day.
Yeah,
I need my spot day. I'm getting old.
They didn't give me an option, and I was tired. It was like a hot, humid day the night before too. I like sweat through it. I don't sweat either. I was like drenched, and they could just see it in my face. I think they're like, all right.
I think one time I didn't even come out, wore me out. I'm like, I don't even have the energy to walk out there today.
It's soft. You gotta have, you have to have a coach pull you out, man.
It's not soft. They can't pitch you if you're not out there. So if you don't go out there, they really can't call your name.
That's right. Just stay home.
Let's see what we got today. Padres, Tigers. Tigers 14-10.
They're playing right now.
The Padres.
You know what? First time I've ever done this. Turning it on while we're doing this.
The TV?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Commentate.
Is it on MLB Network?
I don't know. Do you have the app?
It is on MLB Network. It's on MLB Network.
I have it on my phone.
Bluey was on earlier, so now I got to change it.
There you go. Tigers got base. Oh, this Hart guy. This guy's, man, if I was a betting man, I wish I would have bet, because I've watched this guy against the Cubs, and he was brutal. I know you don't like to say people are bad in the big leagues, but this guy was bad. If anyone's betting, I would take the over right now on the Tigers.
Oh, good matchup right now. For some reason, the Phillies and Mets are in general a good matchup, but Alonso hitting against Zach Wheeler right now. Alonso's hitting 350.
Oh,
for him.
By the way, let's go talk about Philly. Aaron Nola.
What? I didn't see it.
Struggle bus. I mean, it is bad. I feel bad.
Really? Is that bad, dude?
Oh, yeah. They're killing him. And they just lost Sanchez. Sanchez left the game yesterday hurt. This could be like a really bad streak for Philly.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. 643.
643, Aaron Nola. Another 2 homers. How many homers? So we've got a 1.61 whip. He's 0-5 with a 6.4 ERA.
That's not good. I wonder if this is catching up to him. I wish he was pitching right now so I could see his stuff. But
I know. I need to go watch his mechanics. He's given up 6 home runs already.
Yeah, he's always giving up a lot of homers though. Like I feel like he always is like in the top 5 for giving up homers. Because you know what? If you look at his last 2 or 3 outings, so not the last one, but the previous 2, 4 walks in 5 innings. I mean, and then you give up a homer with that. Like that's the backbreaker.
Yeah, how many walks does he have?
Well, the 1.6 whip has got to be not great.
He's got 11 walks this year.
Yeah,
28 innings.
I mean, that's not usually, like him. So,
and they're hitting 301 off of him.
Yeah,
I gotta look at his mechanics. Maybe I'll text him.
the doctor. That's incredible.
Maybe I'll save him.
Before you start bashing him though, he's so good.
I am not bashing him. I'm saying he's struggling. I'm definitely. He's so good.
You're like a Phillies fan. You just as soon as there's a hint of failure, it's like, whoa, you stink. Get this bum off the field. Throwing batteries at him.
Okay, let's go to the Jordan Romano they gave $10 million, who is not very good. Every guy they've given $10 million to, not good. Craig last year. Before that, Corey Knebel. Before that, they gave Archie Bradley 6 or 7.
I don't understand the Romano one.
Neither do I.
You know, he only threw 13 innings last year, and it wasn't great. So you're going off the previous 2 years, maybe? I don't know.
Just pay Hoffman. The kid was left.
I mean, would they give Romano $10 million? 2 years?
Yeah. Something
Okay,
like that.
in the grand scheme of things, what?
What do you mean?
You froze. All right, so what was his deal, Romano's?
Let's look it up. Go look at Hoffman. Why wouldn't you just pay Hoffman, who you had for 2 years, who you basically resurrected?
That makes more sense. That makes more sense to me. But Romano,
or Carlos Estevez, who you traded for and you had, who, you know, I mean, maybe I wouldn't pay him either, but still.
I would rather Hoffman, right? Hoffman was nails. Yeah. So, yeah,
Jordan Romano contract. 8.5, sorry. With I'm sure incentives. 8.5.
2 years, 8.5?
1.
Oh, 1 year. Yeah. That's rolling the dice, right? Like he had a 6.5 ERA only in 15 games, though. So obviously he's hurt most of the year. But did you see what he's done the previous years? Pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So you're kind of just banking on that. The thing that scares me, though, because we've all been down this road. Well, he had a good batting average against, is 7 losses, right? So in close games, you know, I want to know what that ERA is, you know, in 2023 anyways. Prior to that, 5-4, 7-1, like he was great. But I don't know. I would roll out $8 million to that. That's a move you want a GM to make, though. Like we're sitting here saying, oh, the Cubs haven't done. Yeah, the Cubs aren't doing enough.
I could see it if you kept Hoffman, but he can't be let Hoffman go. We're going to Jordan Romano, who is coming off an injury and pitched 16 innings.
Yeah, but didn't Hoffman have like medical issues? Like he got bounced by. This is him, right? He got bounced by the Orioles. Blue Jays signed him, and like he kind of like flip off the Orioles after he like saved the game against them. Was that Hoffman? Or am I making this up?
He got bounced by the Orioles for what? He failed
a physical. Yeah, they were going to sign him. I think it was Hoffman.
You better not be lying.
Someone did. I thought it was Hoffman. We need to do better research. Sorry if you're listening again live. But these things pop up in my head, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was Hoffman. He was going to sign with the Orioles. They said, nope, physical. We don't like it. Signs.
By the way, the Orioles are the worst on failed physicals. They have done that to so many people.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But I haven't verified that yet. So you might be making it. Either ways, I'm not really letting that guy go.
Yeah. So with the Blue Jays, he like closed the game out and like stared down the Orioles like dugout or something like that. And you know, the players have nothing to do with that. But you know, the saying basically
physical.
Yeah, that was him. So that's why I think the Phillies probably didn't sign him for
$40 million from the Orioles, failed the physical. That's for $40 million, and then they failed his physical. That doctor has done that a lot, though. A lot. He has screwed some guys.
So that's why I think maybe the Phillies knew some dirt on that too, you know?
Maybe. But he's never really missed time, but he failed. They flagged his shoulder.
Time will tell.
Still got 3 years, 33 that has potential to grow to 39. So, I mean, good for that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a buttload of money, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, rocket off Peterson.
Tigers only got that guy out of it. Man, good thing I didn't bet that.
You do that? You do the parlays and all that stuff?
No, I don't parlay. I would do like I think like a score, like the run line, or I think they're going to score 7, 8, 9 innings.
Let's see.
The one time I bet the Padres in the over against the Cubs, Hart was starting, and I was so mad because I needed the Padres to win. I hated this guy. He lasted a third of an inning. Luckily, the Padres came back and won that game like 8-7. But you know what I look at? I look at, we both know how hard it is to sweep in baseball. I feel like I always look at teams that have lost the first two of a series, and I would just bet the third one.
That's a good call. I was thinking about that. Even if you're playing like the worst team, other than maybe last year with the White Sox, but like it is hard to. Why is that? Like it's just like it's like the law of averages comes back around, and it's just near impossible to pull off a sweep unless you're on this crazy heater.
Yeah, like the Mets swept the Cardinals last week, and other than that, no one else got swept.
Right.
Even the Marlins came back and had that crazy game against the Phillies and not get swept.
Yep.
You know how it is. You don't want to get swept. You got to at least get one out of that thing.
You don't, but if you're on the winning side, it's like, why how did we not just sweep that team? They stink.
They come back and fight.
They threw a guy with a 6.5 ERA. He went 7 shutty against us. Like, what just happened?
But you know what happens? I feel like it depends how you got to those first two games. If you had to use your guys out of the pen the first two games, a third one, and you're winning, it's going to be tough to hold on to that one.
There it is. That's a good call. Totally. Yep. Like, yeah, you're definitely right, because you can't just keep running the same guys out there, because then you have another series coming up without a day off, and then you put yourself in the hole early. You know, that's a good point. Yep.
And then that team has their guys ready to, you know, because they've been losing unless they're really close. It just depends. So if I was a betting guy, I would really look at the bullpen usage and who's available that day on, like, especially for swept, like for guys not to get swept.
Yeah.
Like the Padres lost the first two against the Astros. I told anybody I knew at my Easter dinner or whatever, I would totally take the Padres tonight. They pulled it off. They lost by 1. I think it was 1 or 2, but
you look like a genius. You're like, every time I want to gamble on baseball, I'm going to Kins.
Yeah. And they're like, should we take the over? C's has a 6. I'm like, I want to take the over against him and Valdez. I don't know about that one. I said, just take the Padres. I'm not telling you anything about scoring. And it definitely went under.
You need to do a side segment, I think, for guys like that. Like a DraftKings segment.
Hey,
I'm not good with that stuff, but you'd be good at
that. Sponsor our dang, trying to get DraftKings to sponsor our dang podcast.
Oh, all right. So hey, listen.
I talk to the guy all the time. Every year, every time I talk to him, he says he's trying to push us towards DraftKings.
Well, time will tell, I guess. But look, we're about running out of time.
It doesn't help when I say we're going on at 10 and you show up at 10:02, so that doesn't help us.
Hey, hold on a second. It must be nice to wake up, have a nice breakfast, sit out on your porch, drink a coffee. Like, you know what? I got a podcast to do. And I got to cancel my entire middle of the day out.
Hey,
to jump on here.
You picked the time.
That's true. Well, all right, then get up at 4 a.m.
If it was for the boys, I would do it.
You didn't like your 6 a.m. breakfast.
Nobody's probably going to listen at 4 a.m, Steve.
That's right. On the East Coast, 7 a.m. morning commute. No, good stuff, man. That was fun.
Probably don't even tell anybody you're on a podcast on your East Coast.
Super secretive. No, I got people coming up to me like, "Oh, I listen to your."
You probably don't. Yeah, you don't tell anybody.
No, people are listening over here. You'd be surprised. Yeah, you still doing that podcast? Yeah. Then the week later, like,
we got fixed. Right. We're back on Spotify now and everything.
Good. So I got to update you next podcast. We're in the winners bracket. 8U, 10U, not looking pretty. Losing our catcher for today's game. We're 0-7-3. And we've lost our first playoff round to Kohler's team. But the Hot Pink Pirates are not backing down today. All right.
Oh, I gotta give you an update on our. You know how we talked about being a good dad, a good coach. You know, not bringing your kid down. I totally failed last week. Literally the day we talked about it.
Is this your confession here?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Bad.
You blew up.
Knox was starting pitcher. He was a starting pitcher, and he didn't take his ADHD pill. He goes, I want to be crazy today. And I'm like, but normally he pitches really well when he takes his ADHD meds, so he's nice and calm when he's locked in. He was all over the place. He lasted a third of an inning. I take him out because, you know, the plan was 1-1-1. We were going to win. All the top 4 pitchers go win. We're playing a terrible team. Knox can't throw a ball to save his life. By the way, Sonny is umpiring, so if he did throw a strike, he called it a ball. So as I'm going to take him out,
Sonny, man.
As I'm going to take knocks out, I'm holding it in. I say, go to first. And I just can't resist. And I said, that was terrible. And I couldn't even, like, it just like blurted out.
He didn't start crying, did he?
No, like he just goes to first. And then he strikes out. He ends up getting 2 hits. He's really excited about his 2 hits. I'm like not giving him the time of day because he had made terrible mental plays at first. I didn't wear him out. I guess my body language isn't good about it. So, anyways,
same thing.
One kid had a great game. He's getting really good. I tell my wife, key text so and so's mom. I didn't do a team meeting after. I'm like, I don't even want to talk to anybody because we lost to the worst team possible to this annoying coach. I said, he said, text Henry's mom. Say he had a great game. You know, she's like, son. He goes, well, that's great. Well, your son feels like you're disappointed in him right now. I'm like, oh crap, I suck.
That's the worst feeling, man. I said I had to have a sit down and talk with Emmy yesterday about something similar, but I didn't wear her out. So we play our playoff game. Our first girl, she's a great pitcher. She's such a good kid. She struggled though, you know, and so I put Emmy in. And we can't let up a single run or else mathematically the game's over, right? Because you only get 5 runs max per inning. And so she struggled a little bit, but she was fine and gave up the run. And so Tom Kohlers, the third base coach, said, hey, Tom, I know the game's over, but I want to pitch another girl just to see what we got for next game. Because she's, you know, Tom knows she's a stud too. She's just, you know, is learning. So I pulled Emmy out of the game, put her at first, and brought in the other girl. And I guess Emmy went home crying. And I had no idea because I had to switch games. And so I had to sit down and talk with her and explain to her, like, hey, I didn't play you out because you stunk or anything like that. Like you were working hard. Like you did great, but the game was out of hand. I had to give another girl opportunity.
Right.
And so she understood. But I was like, dang, I felt bad. Like that was a day before. How long has she been like sitting on this, you know, thinking about it? So yeah, it was tough, man. Kids are tough.
They are tough. I got a dad tell me his kid he was crying during the game. He wanted to quit because I guess he kept playing the outfield. Like, man, I don't know. Your kid's left-handed. He throws the ball 10 feet. Where am I supposed to put him?
Yeah, it's tough. Tell him to practice more. Like, let's go to get after practice. Yeah, that's tough, man.
Oh, let's talk about how we had remember I sent you the request? The dad put in the request for the team chat.
Oh, yeah. How'd that pan out?
Then he sent it again to the coach 2 days later. So at practice, I'm like, all right, I'm going to expose this kid a little bit. You know, I'm not just for the dad. Put him in the infield at shortstop. Remember the game, 27 outs, but we did 12 outs.
Yeah.
Kid's ready. He's getting destroyed by ground balls. Like, and has no idea where to cover, has no idea what he's doing. He's getting ready to cry. I'm like, see, that's why he needs to go to the outfield.
That's messed up. Just work with him, make him do infield drills. And then
I know. I try to help. No, bro. Trust me, I was trying.
Okay.
Anyways, all right. That's it for this week. We'll have an update for next week we got a big game this weekend against the Yankees on Saturday. We got a game tonight. How it goes. Good luck in your playoffs.
Thank you. Hey, don't. Hey, when this is over, don't hang up. I got a story.
I want you to get tossed and film that. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. We'll see you guys later. Hopefully, Steve shows up on time.